Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello, friends. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good Monday so far. Oh, gosh, of course, now is when I notice that my glasses are really bad. But good morning. I hope everybody is doing well this morning. I hope everybody had a good, safe, and happy New Year's. I hope nobody shot off fireworks because everyone hates fireworks. If you did want to see fireworks, I hope you went to a safe, professional display put on somewhere near you. We did not. We stayed home with Josie and helped her deal with the stress around there just being fireworks somewhere. It wasn't anyone in our community, thankfully, because apparently it's against county law to do them in our complex specifically. So that's interesting. It's probably like residential zoned areas, not like where we live explicitly. It's like, you know, the fire marshal is like, yeah, you can't do it in residential zoned areas, would be my guess. Because it would be weirder if it was like, yeah, you can't do it here. So, Sage, hello. Work New Year's Eve, someone dropped a jar of cherries in front of the elevator. You put that in the Discord, like, you put that in the Discord, and that's the worst. That's the worst and best thing to happen right before the new year, because it's just like, well, shit. It probably won't get worse than this next year. Chat Heart, hello. Like, that's like I feel like that's like dropping a jar of marbles where you're just like, fuck. You know? Oh my goodness. Yeah, there we go. Now my glasses are good. Of course, now is when I notice it, but yeah, I hope both of you are doing well this morning. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. Aaron and I had a good New Year's. We hung out. We gave Josie her chill out treats. She stayed nice and chill the whole time. We also put on some loud TV. Oh, I don't know why someone had a jar of cherries. You gotta, you know, sometimes you gotta jar of cherries. Honestly, the glass is the worst part of that. But yeah. Excuse me. I played some Destiny with Brian and Jalen over on New Year's Eve. We did one of the new seasonal missions. You have to do a thing on hard difficulty. And from what I've heard, it's not easier with 3 people, but it's, you know, more enjoyable to do stuff with friends, especially a multiplayer game. So that's fun. Aaron was watching Disney movies and setting up her new planner and stuff. It's also legal to shoot fireworks here without a license, but that doesn't stop people. If they still sell them in stores, then what do you do, right? It feels like that's they wrote that law in such a way that it's like, it's illegal if we catch you. You know, because if it's still legal to sell fireworks in stores but illegal to shoot them, friends, you didn't put the right law into effect. All right. But yeah, I think the fireworks we heard all night were from somewhere, because they were going for a while. Like, don't laugh at me. I mean, like a display, like a professional display, not just some people shooting off fireworks. They don't sell the illegal ones, so people just drive over to Ohio and buy them. Again, y'all didn't put the right laws into place. You were so close. You were so close. Yeah, Erin's here making fun of me. Because she has today off, and so she's going to take the morning and go have an adventure, which is very exciting for her. I don't think so. No, because I have all of them. And then you have the cord in the car, so you should be okay. Yeah, she's getting everything. She's getting some stuff packed. She's gonna leave the house for the day and get up to some stuff, which is good because she doesn't really get to do stuff on her own anymore. So I'm excited. I was like, do you want me to take the day off and we can hang out? She was like, sure, or I could just, have a day. And I was just like, or you could just have a day. That's also fun. That's also fun. Are you ready for the next Cinderace raids? Oh my gosh. I tried to do a couple more Cinderace raids over the weekend. I tried to do a couple more Cinderace raids for the weekend, and people are so bad at these 7-star raids. It would be funny if it wasn't so frustrating. Do you know what I mean? It would be funny if I didn't waste 45 minutes trying to do raids. I was just doing them solo. I mean, sure, but you can only do those one a day, right? So, excuse me. It's frustrating to me that that so many people are. No, I don't want a day skip. It's frustrating to me that so many people are this bad at, and I've talked about this a little bit in the past. It's frustrating to me that so many people are this bad at the one mechanic in Pokemon. You know what I mean? Jalen, what's going on? What is going on, my friend? How are you, friend? I hope you're doing well. But you know what I mean? Like, I was doing one and some people locked in with like, okay, counters. I'm like, okay, if we keep at this, if we do it, it'll be great. And then the fourth person locked in with a Lucario. And it's like, no. Did I know I had to work a day? Oh, see, some places are tricky. You're using Quillfish? Is Quillfish the strat? That's kind of funny. That's funny. Yeah, I think Sage put the video in the Discord. I have to figure out why my Discord app on my phone isn't working. I might have to uninstall and reinstall. It will not open links anymore. It will not, like, if I try to click it, it just goes like. So I might have to uninstall and reinstall. But it's just, it's very annoying to try to do these raids and like watch these people try to do these slow bros, right? Where it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna set up. I'm setting up. I died. I'm setting up. I died. And it's like, great. I did a raid once. No one attacked the boss. I was doing a support slow bro, so I had psychic terrain up, I had rain dance up, I had heal pulse, so I was healing, and I had chilling water so I try to get their attack down. I was the only person that attacked the boss. Everybody was just trying to set up the whole time. They're just trying to set up the whole time. Blue Thunder, hello. How the heck are you doing? Welcome on in. Like, all the setup in the world isn't gonna save you. Good tea. Doing all right? That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Basil shiny Hoppip while looking for shiny Lechonk. Managed to have shiny Toxel, 26 eggs. That's not bad. That's not bad. 26 eggs? Woof. Oh yeah, I guess I could I guess that's a thing I could do if I run out of things to do today. I could get started on Scorbunny eggs. Ugh. Sure. Making a Slowbro and Quilphus for special attack raids. Yeah, I've still got that the Slowbro working. Lavender, hello. Oh, look at does the pronoun thing support custom pronouns now? Hell yeah. Void, how the heck are you? Welcome on in. I was actually editing something. Where you were hanging out, and I was like, oh, I wonder how Void's doing. Excuse me. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's flip over. There we go. I was like, finally found a Twitch extension that might give me notifications. The dream. Calm Mind Stored Power, Nasty Plot. That's pretty good. That's a great. It's been a challenge for the last couple years. Yeah, the Twitch app is so bad. Like Twitch is so bad about notifications. Twitch is so bad about notifications. It's ridiculous. Like I've never like I count myself incredibly lucky the other day. I got a notification for somebody that like I know personally went live for the first time in a while, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And I was just like I'm so excited that it actually showed me the raid. Make sure you have the bell on and your phone isn't in sleep mode. Yeah, I mean, the Twitch app is just bad about it. Like, the Twitch app is just bad about it. All right, hang on. There's a ton of Pokemon right here. I gotta. Oh, excuse me. No, keep going. Don't come back like you did a good job. Keep going. Okay. Good luck getting notified on time if your phone is being actively used. Yeah, true. Yeah, if you're not actually using your phone, it is no interest. Someone's like, I'm tired. Like I did it. No, do more. Here, what is this? Let's send Ceruledge out there. You guys purple? No? Okay. Grab my pronouns. I'm loosey goosey. Just use any pronouns. It cut off the first consonant. Love it. I'm just surprised. I was just surprised to see it support custom. You know what I mean? I thought it I didn't think it supported like I guess they added more pronoun choices. That's great. I'm happy for it. That is good to see. Oh god, so many dogs. So many dogs. Yeah, check all these guys. All right. Come on. Come on. Okay. So the goal today, like every day, is to try to get a shiny. I got a couple really good outbreaks that I'm excited about, and I hope none of them are in stupid places. I hope there was one I tried to do a Dreepy on Friday after stream, and it was in a wall. I tried to I was like I get a couple and I can kind of grab them through the wall, so we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna see if I can do a Brian. What's that? And then there was one gonna try Iron Banner in the wee hours of the morning before everyone else is up. Oh, see, that's the play. Oh man, it's double. Ah, I forgot. It's double trials rep. I got to do that tonight. I got to try to. I'm gonna at least get my 2 drops for the season. I will note the way we talk about pronouns is not very conductive towards people who use custom/artificial pronouns because the possessive reflexive forms are always left out. We provide examples by the subject and object form, like em. I am not smart enough or learned enough, I will say, to be more specific with what I mean. In grammar or wait. No, they're blue from the back. Hang on. In grammar or gender expression. Oh, that's a subtle change. God damn. All right. Well, now I know where I'm looking. If I own an apple, whose apple is it? M's. I see what you mean. M's is a good one. Yeah, that I guess yours. That's a good use for the yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about grammar. People have these discussions sometimes with like talking about grammar, and I'm always just like, I don't know. Somebody was talking about something, and it was a TikTok, and I watched the whole TikTok 3 times, and I was like, I don't get it. I'm like, I can tell that like this is a thing, and you are excited to teach us about it, but I can't. Hey, you talk about me to other people using your name would be the best. Or very effective, I should say. I guess not the best, not to imply like absolute quality, but yeah, there's sometimes I'm just like, I wish I was, you know, I wish I understood that more, you know, again, to try to not, you know, negative self-talk. Look at all your fucking ribbons. So a thing I learned the other day is you can go like far away, right, for them all to despawn, and then you get them all to come back. Multifunctional theirs, which works for everyone grammatically. Sure, but some people don't use those pronouns, which is part of the trick. Because theirs is still a pronoun, you know. I studied other languages a lot when I was in high school. Learned a lot about language sounds and grammar that exist outside of English. English from the few things that I have seen and understood and retained, like English's grammatical structure is very limited compared to others. Except there I have a friend that doesn't. Right. You know, I know someone who doesn't use any pronouns. And so when you refer to Orion, you only use Orion. They use what you use when pronouns are unknown. True, but that doesn't mean that it works for everyone grammatically. It works for any subject grammatically, right? Like this is the splitting hairs conversation. You know, at least in the way that I view it. Go on, get over there. Pastry! Pastry, hello, my friend. And I don't mean splitting hairs like it's unimportant. I mean splitting hairs like there will always be exceptions, and thus there is no one universal answer. You know what I mean? No, get out of here, Sneasel. Pastry, how the heck are you doing here in the new year? I was splitting headache. I'm in high spirits. I'm sorry, buddy. What's going on? Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're staying hydrated. It's a problem because changing language creates other issues with understanding. Things change slowly in language. Yeah, I think the only people I have issue with in the whole conversation of like, you know, pronouns and language and all of that are the people that are like are the people that act as though language is immutable. You know what I mean? The people that act as though language is a like important constant that must be protected and never altered. It's like, dog, like tell me you don't actually know anything about language. Like there's examples of language changing within the last 50 years. So don't, you know. Then honestly just started coming when I was halfway from work. I blame the French. You know, you could do worse. Yeah, I hope you feel better, Pastry. Yeah, I had that. I had that the other day where you just get one out of nowhere. Yeah, I hope you feel better, friend. Take something if you need to. You know, or if you're able to. Make sure you're drinking water. How long till your other lightsaber shows up? All this because the extension very competently tracks my pronoun set. You know, that's discussions, right? That's discussions. That's how it goes. Oh, come on. Gosh. Frostlass, I'm not a man. Leave me alone. You can't turn me into a statue. Hopefully they'll ship it soon. They're ready to ship one, so you don't have to wait for it to be built. That's good. That's, you know, that's a good thing to take into consideration. All right. Give everything a once over, right? I got a good number. I say this, friend says that a very official and bureaucratic council commission that makes rulings on official changes to the language. Ugh. That doesn't seem bad at all. They're very persnickety bastards whose mission is preserving the integrity of the French language and culture. Oh no. No, that's that's a bad no. That Jesus. Oh Jesus. That's a that sounds like they are primed to do a racism. What'd you do for New Year's? I did basically nothing. I did basically nothing. We hung around. We had some good food. Prime to do a racism. Funny you say that. Oh man, I hate when I love being right. I hate when I'm right. We just we hung around the house. We had some food. I played Destiny with Brian and Jalen a little bit. We watched the ball drop. It was good. It was a good, nice time. Look up the French term for Ghost Rider and the struggle to get that changed. How? Why do I feel like it's something inherently bad? And I'm at health day with my cat and my dad. Hell yeah. Sometimes it's all you need. You just need a day. You know? You just need a day. You just need a quiet day. Reminds me, I need to get back to Sims 4 when I'm mucking with pronoun settings. So my queen character uses the royal we, and the game text refers to use her royal highness instead of her. That's great. I'd love that, actually. Gotta use, yeah, listen. The royal we, perfect. Worse than you think. How bad can it be? Worse than you think? Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Yo! Look at it. Oh, I love her. Oh my God. She's so cute. Excuse me, parents. I'm just gonna take your one strange child. Just shh. Shh. Fortunately, my dog is on their way sometime in the next month, so it's best for me to stay home with him. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, Void. I'm. It's always frustrating. It's always frustrating when it happens. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at this absolute cutie. This is the second time this has happened. This is the second time this has happened where I've been doing an outbreak and I was like, okay, like I've got a good number of spawns. Let me run away and force everything to respawn. And then just something was shiny. So cool. Heck yeah. Look at it. It's so cute. And now everyone is very mad. Everyone is very mad and fairly so. Look at it. Ah. It's adorable. It's adorable and I love it. Beartick ran to the shade and disappeared. Goodbye. All right, we just replaced that Cubchoo. I'm starting to understand the people that do like shiny living dexes, you know, that like when a Pokemon game comes out, they immediately start shiny hunting every goddamn thing. Because it's been fun to just like, I don't know, maybe I fell off with shiny hunting last year and I'm finding it back, but I think overworld shinies are a fucking treat and a half. You know what I mean? I think just rolling around and seeing a shiny and being like, what are you? You know, like, I don't know about you. I'm gonna, okay. You know, like I honestly, I got a PC that can actually run video games last year and I'm enjoying it. Hell yeah. What are you playing? A Discord that I'm in, everyone's been sharing their Steam like recaps or whatever, because it's not Steam Unwrapped, but everyone's been sharing their Steam recaps, which has been really cool to see like what everybody plays and that I am the biggest gamer on the server in terms of video games. Other people do their own stuff. It's a TTRPG focused Discord, so I'm not surprised that it's that they don't play a lot of video games, you know what I mean? Portal Reloaded is a great spiritual successor to Portal as a time portal. Somebody in that Discord was actually telling me about Portal Reloaded, and I'm very interested to try it. I'm very interested to check it out. It sounds really neat. It sounds really, really neat. I'm still going through it. It's mind bending. It's definitely one of those things. Like if it adds a portal that deals with time, it's like, all right, I gotta, you know, it sounds like every other level I'm gonna have to sit down. I'm gonna have to take a beat. Because I remember playing the original Portal. Excuse me. I remember playing the original Portal and having that where just like sometimes you get through a level and it's like, okay, I gotta I gotta take a minute. Portal Stories Mel is also worth playing. I'm surprised to see how many like Portal, not ripoffs, forks. What's the word that I want? Like side stories, fan games. Fan games is the word that I wanted. Thank you, Sage. I'm like not ripoff. Like, yo, Nix, what's up? Yeah, I'm hoping this would be a really cool shiny. I'm hoping. I'm only gonna respawn him a couple times. Currently hanging out in that area, trying to find a shiny haunter. Third outbreak? Heck yeah, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, full, yeah, some of them are like, yeah, some of them I've seen are full conversion mods where it just takes the whole game and wraps it up fresh. Trick making good fan games portal feel right is you got to put it somewhere in time where GLaDOS isn't activated or awake. Right, like it needs to not feature GLaDOS because you can't, you know? And it's way easier to do a game without because you got to have a voice actor. Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, it's way easier if you just, because you're not going to do the voice right? Like you're going to think, oh, I could just use the voice thing, and you're wrong. It'll sound bad. My boyfriend just caught a shiny Graveyard in Area 0. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I did decide I'm gonna try to shiny mark hunt the Paradox Mons, which basically just means I'm gonna make a sandwich and run around and see how that goes. It's not gonna be now because I definitely need to get grinding Herba Mysticas if I'm gonna do that, but that's what I think my mark hunt for this game is gonna be. Like how for Swish I want to do rare mark hunts for Swords of Justice. Helps that both one mentioned here can be downloaded from Steam if you own two. Yeah, and I do like that. I do like that it's like a fan game that's like in Steam, you know? How's the sandwich working for you? So I'm actually not using sandwiches. I did for like the first one. Because I wanted to see how it went and how it worked. But now I'm not using sandwiches at all. I'm just relying on Shiny Charm and Luck. If I'm hunting anything specifically, like I was doing Slowpoke the other day to get a Slowbro for these raids. I just put on a Psychic Up sandwich and ran around where I knew a bunch of Slowbros were. So I haven't tried the picnic. Didn't work for you either. It's hard in the snow. Yeah, the picnic seems to be very touchy. The whole picnic mechanic is very touchy, it seems. Your Dratini shiny beat the game have over 70 hours. I mean, listen, Dratini is a good shiny. That's a good one. I think I need to knock out just a couple more. Some of them are very hard to tell. You're absolutely right. Well, and what's funny is I thought the blue on the back of the head was an indicator of the shiny. So I'm very confused. You check everything? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. That'll tell you right away. No! Ah! Frostlass, why? Do you see Frostlass throw me off the mountain? That's messed up. It's messed up, Frostlass. I missed the shiny sound they had in Arceus. Yeah, I think that's my biggest problem. I really like overworld shinies. But I think they should have had the sound. I definitely think they should have the sound. Oh, cool. Let me just shiny hunt here in the snow. Let me just shiny hunt in a blizzard. There's Matt of the Year. Lugo, hello. Oh, excuse me. Lugo, how are you doing? Excuse me. Lugo, how are you doing? How's your new year going so far? You need Iron Valiant? Iron Iron Valiant was a fun hunt. That was wild. Good. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Who's my favorite Mon? So far it's low kicks. So far my favorite new Mon is low kicks. Waiting for the WoW raid later today. And you pre-ordered Mega Man? Hell yeah. Oh, we're out of Frostlass. All right. We ran out of Frostlass. That's how it goes. That's a bummer. See if we can actually do this Magneton. The last time I had a Magneton one. Ugh. The last time I had a Magneton one, it was in too weird a spot. Grafai is definitely a fave, but I love all the ghosts. Holy cow. Just got a digital, can't be bothered with mail. That's fair. That's fair. I know you're hype about it anyway, so. It's cheaper to buy the 2 packs in one. Oh, you know, I forgot that it's 2 packs. Honestly. How much is it retailing for? Come on. Excuse me. Just feels so weird that it's 2 games. Like they just didn't want to use a bigger Switch cart, or maybe it was too big for even the biggest Switch cart. All right. Gotta watch y'all down here. If I run too far. If I run too far, they'll despawn. Oh, God, why am I yawning now? Come on. Just go. Come on. Just attack them with like a ranged attack. Come on. Act like you don't have like a big beam attack or something like that. Come on. So yeah, last night I was playing more Lego Star Wars on Xbox. Oh my god. Why am I yawning so much? But those games are still very much how they are. We were having a good time. We're having a good time though. Like those they really have like stepped up the work in every level. Like it's really funny to go back and see the original games and just look at how much work they put into it. Is it April? Okay. I've never actually played a Mega Man. Like, I've never played a whole Mega Man game. Frostlass, don't come over here and then be shiny. Get out of here. You had your chance. You had your chance, okay? I don't want to... play Mega Man 0. Yeah, I've never played them. Like I had one. I had one at one point for the Super Nintendo. Or actually no, I'm misremembering. I didn't have one. So this was in first grade. A kid and I were like, "Hey, do we want to swap games? You know, like you'll borrow one of my games, I'll borrow one of your games, and then we'll swap back when we're done." And he gave me, I couldn't even tell you, one of the Mega Man. I want to say it was a Mega Man X game, right? I want to say it was a Mega Man X game, and I think I gave him Plock because I enjoyed Plock. Plock was a cool game. I gave him something, and like 2 weeks went by. I was playing Mega Man X. And I was like, this is okay. I'm not the biggest fan of this. But it's all right. It's all right. But I really wanted to play Plock. So I told him, I go, hey, like Jimmy, whatever the kid's name was, I don't remember. I was like, hey, I'm like, are you still playing my game? Can we swap back soon? Because I want to play that. And he was like, no, we're not swapping back. That's my game now. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That wasn't the agreement, buddy. We agreed that we would swap for a little bit. And then we'd swap back. And and it's like I'm not saying we have to do it tomorrow, but like, hey, I'd like it back if you want to take the weekend. I don't remember what you actually look like. Okay. If you want to take the weekend and like bring it back on Monday, that's fine. But let's get started on it. And he's like, no, this is my game. And I hounded him every day for like a week where I'm like, bud, I'm like, just give me my game back. Like, come on. And I brought his game to school every day so that on the chance he brought it, I could just be like, here, give me my game. And so eventually, and I don't remember how we set this up. Eventually, like, our moms got involved and we had to have like a mom conference. So my mom comes in, his mom comes in, and I tell her what's up. And she goes, yeah, like, like my kid just wants his game back. This kid told his mom that I stole his game and refused to give it back. And so both my mom and I are like, what? Like she's like you need to give him his game back and you need to apologize and you need to think about what you did. And both my mother and I are looking at this person like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's messed up because that's one thing. It's one thing to just be like, all right, I was just going to try to keep your game because I like your game better than mine, but all right, fine. You got me. But like, it's ridiculous. I feel like I went through this with a Pokemon card. That's why they said multiple, like, for years when I was in school, they said, like, do not bring your Pokemon cards to school. Do not bring your Pokemon cards to school. We are not responsible. How did he get my game if I'm the big thing? Answer that in Nola Holmes. That was, yeah, and that's like the big gotcha where I was like, did you buy him that game? I'm like, there's no way he just found that game. What's more reasonable? I stole his game and he somehow just procured a game, or the thing that I'm telling you? People just take them and not give them back. Or, I mean, what was happening then, right? What was happening then 9 times out of 10 was kids were being children and they were playing with their Pokemon cards and they would leave them outside, or a kid would fuck up someone else's card because they got mad because they're children and they don't have impulse control. And then the parents would complain to the school. Like, it's the school's problem. Hi. Okay. I love you too. Okay. They would complain to the school and be like, you have to fix this. And the school's like, no, we don't. No, we actually don't. It's one thing if a kid like, oh, this kid took 10 of my child's Pokemon cards and like destroyed them intentionally. That's a thing you can like discipline and you can make the other parents aware and that sort of thing. But if it's just like little Timmy left his Pokemon cards outside during recess and now they're all ruined, it's like, that's Timmy's B. That's a thing you gotta take up with little Timmy. I traded a game with a kid and broke it, and he got to keep my copy of San Andreas. Never got to play Digimon Data Squad. That sucks. Oh, that sucks so bad. I got my first Pokemon cards from kids from school. They were really common extras, but hey, free card. To end up getting your game back. When my son does a trade like that at camp, I make sure he gets a better card. That was another thing. That was the big thing kids were doing, is they would just do trades. They would just trade. They would just trade without any thought of whether that card was rare or useful. You know what I mean? Where like, oh yeah, that card's actually like good. And if you play the game, you want that, But yeah, I'm pretty sure I got my game back. I think after I think I remember getting my game back. I think after the mom meeting, he brought it in. This is gonna be one that's in a wall, isn't it? Oh no, they're out here. Oh, sick. All right, I don't know what any of y'all look like, so all y'all are getting beat up. But yeah, and it was a kid who was a friend of mine too. And you know, it might surprise you to learn I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I didn't have a lot of friends at school, or like a bunch of neighborhood kids, because where we lived there wasn't a lot of kids. So I was really upset at the whole situation because I was like, man, like that kid was my friend, and he took the first opportunity he had to like steal from me, you know? Took two of those cards to house friends, didn't go to my school, give him a bunch of dupes for one of them. That's how I had enough my mom to buy me cards. Listen, that's how it works. I got a bunch of free string and I traded to somebody who had a bunch of extra apples. And I traded those apples to somebody for some batteries, and then I traded those batteries to somebody for their remote control car, and it just works its way up. Okay, I gotta be careful. I like that, like I'm already on like the second stage. But I gotta be careful because I don't know what the hell the shiny one looks like, so I'm very scared. Because I have to like look over here, like before I run away from all of these, like, oh god, what's happening? Oh god. There's like 6 over here now. But yeah, like I literally like I used to take my Game Boy to school. I used to take all my Pokemon cards to school. Um, you know, I'd always like try to sneak an action figure in my backpack or something like that, you know. I would always try to take toys to school. Which isn't surprising. Ah, hell yeah, get banned. Um, which you know isn't surprising. I was a child, so look at that. There was one in the rock. Incredible. Like I can't imagine being a parent nowadays, like where like people buy their children phones, and I understand the reasoning, But people give their children like $1,000 iPhones and then get mad when the children break the $1,000 iPhone. I feel like there should be a clause in your Apple support contract that's just like what did you think was gonna happen? Somewhere in the walls with this one. I did get upset when my son cracks his Apple phone screen. I mean, listen, you can be upset like that it happened, but also that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's upset at the event, not like mad at him, right? Where you're just like, ah, man, okay, I gotta deal with this. I'd never spend over $200 for a phone. Yeah, no, because you're going to replace that phone. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that gets me is people are like, okay, here's a $1,000 phone. Have a good time. You know, I actually think it's better to give a child an iPad than a phone because an iPad has like size. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it is harder for a child to drop an iPad than it would be a phone. I say that with like no reference to anything. This is just like just my thoughts, just vibes, you know. My mom would know if I stuck up to school. I was an ADHD child. She had all the teachers telling her if I sneezed. Oh man. Oh yeah, my mom would like do inspections some days. You know, because I of course as a child thought I was slick. But, my mom knew. Especially after Pokemon came out. Man, I'm so bummed. I think I traded somebody in Pokemon like with the cord and all that like 3 times in my life because I never took my Game Boy to school. And I think there was one time like my friend's sister's boyfriend had Pokemon and traded me a Pokemon one time. And it was so cool to do the thing. You know what I mean? My daughter destroyed my iPad. Luckily, it's just a screen protector. She'll lay on the floor and step on it. She's going to be 8. Listen, I say this as a person that is not a parent, right? So I as I usually say when I talk about children, I am not a parent. And so I don't know fuck from shit, right? That's old enough to be like, don't step on the goddamn iPad. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, maybe it's me. Maybe it's, again, maybe it's, I don't know children. And it's like, man, it's not like it's a little bit older. I feel like 8 years old is old enough to be like, don't step on the goddamn iPad. Like, don't. The one thing I want you to do is not this. Every time it's the cats did it, that's not even a good lie. That's not even a good lie, sweetie. How big are your cats? Do you have a leopard in your house? That's when she said they use their hands to. The cats did. Okay, that's. See, I'd laugh at that one, right? I would just when you're like, that's That's the worst. Like, that's the worst lie I've ever heard. That's legitimate. That's legitimately the worst lie I've ever heard. Well, no shiny Glimmet, which is a bummer. I was hoping for this one. It's all laughable at this point. This is why I say I'm like it's probably better that I'm not a parent, because I do think there would be a point where I would just be like, why don't you stop, you know what I mean? I would definitely be one of those people that you see like screaming at their children, and it's like, Matt, why are you screaming at this child? It's like, because this is the 5th time they've stepped on the iPad and they just need to not, you know. And that's probably better for everyone involved, honestly. It's probably better for everyone. Like, it's better for me. It's better for this child that doesn't exist. You know? Yeah, we have a dog and a cat. We have a dog and a cat, and I love both of them. And then the same way. We have like, I feel less inclined to like yell at them or be very upset with them because they don't understand English. Do you know what I mean? So like, when I tell Josie to stop licking the floor for like the 6th time in 10 minutes, she doesn't understand English, man. You know, there's a part of it where it's like, I get like should she be able to understand based on like context clues, and like, I'm doing this activity and being reprimanded, you know, like they're using upset voice. Sure. But also, you know, big shrug. They don't speak English. We have 2 very unique cats. Aaron and I keep joking about getting more cats or getting another cat. I don't think Casper would go for it at all, is the thing. You know? Where am I going? Oh. I didn't put a marker. That explains why it seems like I'm going in a weird direction. Excuse me. We saw a TikTok. Oh, I thought that was a fucking shiny Sableye, and I was gonna be like, what? But no. I can barely care for myself. I couldn't in good conscience agree to take care of a child. And I phrase it that way because there's a game and a chance of me having naturally a slim. Yeah, you're not just gonna bud one day and a child appears. Is this a real Pinecco? No, it's always a Zorua. But no, yeah, I feel the same way, Sage. Like, you know, I feel like I barely don't think you'll find Pineccos on the ground. I don't know. I've seen some things that are like, yeah, they're in the tree, but man, they could be jumping around. I don't know. I don't know their lives. We've always found them in the grass before. Are you telling me Pokemon is changing stuff? Get out of here. Pokemon's the same way it's always been. And it never changes because that's the best. That's the correct way for it to be. I'm going to run into you. I don't know about you. Real Pineccos apparently spawn in trees. Yeah, probably. It makes sense. They're fucking pine cones. Eh. I made a TikTok that I'm actually surprised didn't get me more nonsense gamer comments. We'll see. We'll see after today. You know? We'll see how it goes after like a full day. But I stitched some guy. I also immediately blocked him. I have to add you on there. Exclamation mark TikTok. I immediately blocked him because I was like, I don't want to deal with this guy. But he did his TikTok was like, there's no reason to buy a Switch over a Steam Deck. Like, look at all the things it could do. And I was like, yeah, it's a I like stitched it. I was like, yeah, it's a $600 microform computer, and the Switch is 5 years old. Like I was like, the Switch is 5 years old and sells for $150. Like this is a strange comparison. And the best thing I got was someone that was like, not true. The Steam Deck is $400. The Switch retails for $200. And I was just like, that's not really the point. Like, you know, that's not real. Like, if I could walk into a store and grab a Steam Deck, maybe. I do wonder if they are gonna get them to retail. I'd be very curious. I don't think they will. At least not this one. Maybe maybe if they do a second one. Also, I don't think Valve cares. To an extent, I don't think Valve is worried about selling that broadly. Do you know what I mean? I think Valve knows that the Steam Deck is a, like, what's the word I want? Like an enthusiast's item. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the lesson that they took from hello? Okay. The game does that all the time and I hate it. I think I might glean that the lesson that they took from the Steam Link and Steam PC and all of those things failing was that retail is bad. Which I would disagree with. I think the Steam Link is one of the best things they ever created. I would buy a Steam Link version 2 in a second. Especially if they did a new, and they should, especially if they did a new form factor where it's a it's just like a little stick. It's just a little HDMI stick. If I worked at Steam, that would be the thing I would bring up in meetings. I would bring up the fact that they need to make a Steam stick. And it's $50. It plugs right into your TV. It has powered USB. It has a really strong Wi-Fi radio in it. And it just does remote play. And I would reach out to Microsoft and PlayStation and be like, hey, if you help us subsidize the cost, we will build Game Pass streaming and PlayStation streaming into this device. Done. In a heartbeat. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's got Bluetooth. So you can use any Bluetooth accessories you want with it. You can use any Bluetooth controller. You can use a Bluetooth headset. You can use keyboard, mouse. But I don't think Steam is worried about like, I don't think Steam is competing with these other console manufacturers in the same way. Do you know what I mean? Like, because in the realm that Steam is competing in, Steam hasn't won. I don't think Steam is worried about winning. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, or Valve. If I say Steam, I mean Valve. Apparently, legally, the Switch isn't in the same tier as the Xbox and the PS5. I'm curious what you mean by legally. Like, I'm very curious the use of the word legally. According to the FDC. But what does that mean? Like, what are the differences and why is it a legal consideration? I have no idea what it means. Okay, that's fine. I'm very curious about that. But like I've been talking with Jalen, and we were talking about getting Retroids because I really want to get a Retroid. I turned Brian on to getting a Retroid. And it's like, hey, what if you could get an Android powered, like, not Steam Deck, but that form factor, you know, the screen, built-in buttons, all of that stuff, for a little over $100 plus shipping, you know, and it's Android powered. It'll run a pretty good amount of stuff. It'll run Game Pass Cloud. You know, it does Steam Link, all this stuff. Like, hey, what if that was just $100? It's like, that, you know, that's what I want. That's literally what I want. I want a device that'll let me sit on my couch. I want a device that replaces my phone. And by that, I mean, I want a device that when I'm sitting on the couch watching, like, so Aaron and I watched all of the Big Brunch, or finished the Big Brunch over New Year's. The Big Brunch is a cooking show by Dan Levy. It's a cooking competition show. It features 10 incredible chefs. I only follow bottoms. Wow. I dragged you on the intro. Yeah, like, got like I'm injured. I'm wounded. Like, it's the first stream of the year and I'm already Remember the lust for life I had for trials? It was like 30 minutes ago. It was like 30 minutes ago. It's because I mentioned a cooking competition show. That's why. That's why they were lurking. They were like, I don't know. I can't tell if this person's a bottom. We're gonna have to wait. And then I was like, I watched a brunch cooking competition show by Dan Levy, and they were like, slam that button. Slam that follow button. I've never been sure. Played 5 games and won 2 rounds over the past few days. I mean, there is the seasonal triumph to win rounds. And there's the moments of triumph to win rounds. So like you're doing something, you know what I mean? It might not be the thing that you want to do, but it's something. God, I'm sorry. I'm still processing getting absolutely called out. I've got my ass kicked for 5 games. No, listen. I know. It's part of why I don't fuck around with trials. It's part of why I don't fuck around with trials. What was I saying? Oh, right. Oh, the Retroid. I can't, man. I'm sorry. That damaged me. So I want something that I can like play with on the couch while Aaron and I are watching TV. You know? And if that's my phone, it's going to be my phone, and that'll be bad. What if it was a little Android handheld that like I could install like a Game Boy emulator on and shiny hunt in like the Kanto games for like retro achievements. What if it was a little emulator, you know, like I could play the original Dragon Quest or something like that, you know what I mean? Something like that. So that's what I'm excited about. Or even better, you know, I could sit on the couch and Steam Link and play a Steam game from my PC. They really made the NPCs hot this gen, didn't they? I mean, we don't know when they we don't know how hot NPCs in other games are because they weren't you know, they weren't full models. So how do we know? Iron, good morning. Iron, good morning, friend. How the heck are you? Josie. Josie. Good, how about you? I'm doing all right. I'm trying to get the dog to stop licking the carpet. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Having a pretty good day so far. And considering it's a Monday, let that dog be. Stop it. Stop it. Just yell it. Just yell it at me. But yeah, no, I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing well. I don't like the way Ghastly's coloring came out this gen. Every single one of them look blue, and it's supposed to be the shiny color. I agree. I agree. They put too much blue in it. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Like that's too blue right there. What does Shiny Ghastly look like this game? I actually haven't seen it yet. Yeah. It's still noticeable, so that's good, but yeah, wow, they could have. Not when you're looking out in the field, honestly. Yeah. Like the head, we'll say, the sphere still changes color, you know? The sphere still changes color, but the base like gas color should have been more purple. Come on down here, get KO'd. Unless you put your Switch in your glasses. Oh, that sounds uncomfortable. What happened to Google Glasses? Everyone kind of stopped talking about them. What happened to Google Glasses was because Aaron and I were just talking about this. And I'm not taking this from any specific like articles or anything. I'm just remembering what happened. What happened to Google Glasses was they gave them to a bunch of people just randomly. Well, not randomly. They gave them to very specific people, but there's not any legal kind of verbiage around just unwanted filming of people in public places, especially places where privacy is maybe not explicitly stated but expected, like locker rooms. I think people have a semi reasonable amount of privacy, like at restaurants, that sort of thing. And they just sort of made glasses that had a camera on your face and said go for it. And so there were a lot of cases of people using them poorly, and there were cases of phones being used the same way around the same time. But Aaron and I were just talking about this the other day because we saw someone make an ad for AR glasses. And I was like, I love the idea of AR glasses. I think AR glasses are, I've said this 100 times. I think AR is the thing that's going to take off, not VR. I don't think VR is going to be the thing, because VR is very resource intensive. You need a lot of computers. You need you need a strong computer to do VR. You need a lot of infrastructure to host VR. You need a lot of effort to have a VR space, right? Whereas AR is a lot lighter, it's more portable, and it's more kind of quickly, like, you can more quickly point to use cases for AR rather than VR, right? So the thing I remember with Google Glasses was, it was the thing that got me really excited, was literally just the concept of maps. The way that they showed maps in the original. Brian, hello. Breaking Happy New Year, I come bearing grim news. Oh no. But the original like trailer for Brian, oh no. The original trailer for Google Glasses shows them just like, oh, I gotta, I gotta navigate to somewhere, and they've got their little AR thing, and it's just helping them navigate around. I'm like, that's great. I'm like, hands-free navigation. Oh, the other reason that I think AR is going to take off over VR is because it's way easier to pair an AR headset, like either something with glasses built in or glasses, to your phone, and it's much easier to enter that ecosystem than it is to create VR. Do you know what I mean? Like, the fact that Google gave up on Google Glasses, I think, is because they're cowards. Like, I think they had an incredible platform that they were very close to making. But yeah. Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda asserts commitment to NFTs, blockchain games. As a reminder, Square Enix president Matsuda brought up NFTs, blockchains in the 2022 New Year's letter as well. At the time, he suggested there could be story-focused NFTs. What does that mean? What does that mean? Story-focused NFTs. I want to sit one of these people down. Also, hi Brian, I love you. I'm happy to see you as always. I love you, friend. But also, God damn it. I want one of these CEOs to tell me what they think NFTs are. Do you know what I mean? I would love to sit down with President Matsuda by himself, no one else, obviously a translator probably, and be like, what is an NFT? Define it. Define the blockchain, and then explain to me why you think this is good. Square Enix already started dipping toe in these sorts of endeavors. November 22 announced Symbiogenesis. The announcement teased the coming project, noted to be a NFT collectible art project throughout which participants would untangle the story. It will launch in spring 2023. Also, hi, good morning. Sorry to show up. We're in a perfectly fine discussion with Hell News. No, you're fine. You're fine. I love you. It's good. That's why I very specifically was like, I'm going to say nice things to Brian so that the first thing that Brian gets is not me yelling. Brian, at the very least, gets an introduction and a greeting. And respond to Aaron really quick. But yeah, like I don't think, like, because I honestly believe when most of these people think about NFTs, they think just like digital cards. Do you know what I mean? They think it's just like a digital card thing. Is that maybe me being a little naive and giving people more of the benefit of the doubt than I think than maybe they deserve? Maybe. I also know that CEOs rarely actually know anything. Letter itself is how long, pretty much saying we see that NFTs and crypto is pretty volatile. Ah, fuck. Well, they already know that crypto's involved in it. That's bad. There's been lots of good discussions about it, especially in Japan. We're working on a bunch of new IPs around it. Why? Gotta get that Skrilla. That's literally it. That's literally it. They see the money being made and they want a chance to make that money. Which is a bummer. Because like I'm not going to buy a Square Enix thing while they actively have an NFT thing. Do you know what I mean? Which means I better buy fucking Final Fantasy 13 now. Because no, you know, like I would have a very hard time actively supporting the company while they have NFT projects, you know? Yeah, Brian, how the heck are you? I hope you're having a good day, buddy. Oh, geez, that's a 5-star Dragonite. Oh, hell yeah, look at Slowbro swim. Oh, God, I love him. I love her. Look at this. Swim for murder. So far, so good. Just got up and moving. Hell yeah. Do you have anything planned for your day off, or is it just kind of getting stuff done around the house? Thank you. We need to put our old Christmas tree up for sale. That's the big project. I hope it's like a reusable Christmas tree, because it'd be weird if it... Buy our old dead Christmas tree. Matt, why would anyone do that? I don't know. I don't know how things work in Ohio. Maybe there's a big wood reclamation scene. I don't... Get him. Get him. He's right there. It's a live one when you talk about just seeing if someone else wants to plant it. Hold on to it for another year. That would be so funny. That'd be really funny. It's a joke. It's definitely a fake tree. It's just taller than the same. Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah. You said you're in one of the most frustrating things that can happen. the house has smaller ceilings. Ugh. I forgot about that. God, that would be too fun. That's honestly so fun. See, that's a fun prank. People don't do pranks like that anymore. That's a fun prank. Try to get an ad post, like you gotta call them, you gotta try to get an ad posted for an old tree. That's great. That's fun. My Nendroids came in today. Ooh. Would you get pastry? My mom decided to buy a new Christmas tree this year. She wanted a white one, despite the fact that there are other perfectly good trees less than 5 years old in our house. Some people are very particular about their aesthetics, and I'm not going to ascribe a value to it. I'm just going to point it out. I got a couple gals that can hold hands. They're very cute. What? Oh gosh, that was terrifying. Come on, game. I'm just trying to get a shiny Wooper. I'm just trying to get a shiny Wooper, please. Very scandalous hand holding. Listen, who doesn't love a good handhold now and again? I can't get past this idea of having to call the paper to put in an ad to try to sell your old Christmas tree. See, I mean, what you do is, right, it's like, that's not the prank, right? You're just like, yeah, selling an old Christmas tree, $10. And then when people come to see it, it's just like an old dead tree. It's very funny to me. Tyler in the Catholic Church is a special hammer they smack dead popes with to make sure they're in fact dead. So no zombie popes allowed. We can't have a zombie with that many levels in cleric. They also have a ritual they do where they put the pope on a chair and check that he has balls. Make sure there's no Pope Jones. 100%. Can't have a lady pope. What would that? What sort of madness would that cause, lady pope? The game is dying. Go get him, slow bro. No, go get him. Right. There's a reason I stopped using slow bro. Can you attack them, please? They do this so much where like they'll go right next to them and won't attack them. And I'm like, can you just, they're right there. Can you just hit them? Like, please go attack them. All right. End of the T. Yeah, go get them. This is what I want. I'm not going to get... Once again, I have one of the hardest quests in Stream Raiders, and it's going to stop all of my progress. It's gonna make sure I don't finish these event quests. All right, Wooper. There are not many Woopers left from the original outbreak. Oh, God. Glad I got that Cubchoo when I did. Look at this guy all the way out here just fucking walking like he owns the place. Yeah, no, we got some good stuff done this weekend. We got some chairs for the porch that we're going to put together today. We got the tree put away. We got like all the Christmas decorations picked up and put away. We took the recycling out, which is nice. Because we had a lot of recycling. So we got, you know, take all the recycling out. We went and got chairs. We weren't planning on getting chairs. We just went. They moved one of the Habitat for Humanity stores to a new location. So we are like, oh, let's go see the new store. And they had some outdoor chairs. We were like, great. So I'm gonna put those together after stream. So some nice chairs out there. We'll have to get a little outside table. We'll have to get a little outside table. Oh, is that it? I don't see it anymore. Yep, that's it. Oh, all right. I had another one. I know I had Rufflet over here. I don't care about Rufflet. No? Is that it? And that's it. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Well, time to start that. Time to start grinding on raids and getting Getting LPs. Fun of that. I definitely need to try grinding Herba Mystica. Like that's the big thing. That's the big thing. Herba Mystica is for making special sandwiches. What else do I want to do? I saw they've got some new they've got new raids coming this week, which is great. What was it? It was Hydreigon and Hydreigon and Dragapult. Hydreigon and Dragapult, so which I think Hydreigon is really good for. I mean, it'll be what the drops are, but yeah, they just announced it today. So great things to get out there and grind materials, you know. Like I kind of wish I had skipped the first week of Cinderace raids and kept doing Delibird raids, because that would have been pretty good, because those Delibird raids just gave you so much stuff. Gotta love somebody saying no, we shouldn't make games more accessible. Fuck that person. I'm salty now. Able Gamer is going to show up at their house. So a friend of mine shared a thing on Facebook. It's an article from Paste. Where'd it go? It's an article from Inverse, and it says Elden Ring is undeniably game of the year, and that's a problem. And my friend that shared it said, I say this as someone playing and loving Elden Ring. This article really articulates my concerns and issues with the game. I know the Soulsborne community doesn't love to hear it. There's legitimately good criticism to be had of it. I'm interested in that. I don't know who's that wrong and on the wrong side of history, but they deserve poop in their shoes. 100%. Steph, hello. Steph, how are you? But it's like this is that thing when what people mean when they say like remember that the people on the other, like remember the people on Twitter are people. Because imagine walking into someone's house and just slapping the controller out of their hands and being like, no, you're not allowed to play this game. You know what I mean? Like, so dark. I want fairy. That's what I want. You know, like imagine like that being like your big hill. It always boggles me. It always like literally astounds me. But Steph, how are you doing today? Welcome on in. I hope you're having a good Monday. I hope you're having. Oh, she's not in the right box then. God dang it. I should probably like level her to 100. Good, you? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Getting through this Monday. Listen, Matt, if there's anything we can take away from Souls games, is that there's a bunch of mechanics in the game that we shouldn't use, and developers put them in to find out who the weaklings are, so you should never use any ball besides the normal one, and you'd only ever need to catch up to 6 Pokemon, because using the bank as an assist feature the designer's never meant for you to use. God damn it. That is the funniest thing. That is the, like... So I put this thing in our chat, in the chat that I have with Brian and Jalen. And it's I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna pull it up and I'm gonna read it because it's ridiculous. Okay. I'm gonna put it on stream and I'm gonna read it for y'all because it's ridiculous. As I told them, I've been on the internet a very long time, and even I refuse to believe that this is real because it's ridiculous, right? So this is, I saw this on Reddit. This is a screenshot that was provided to Reddit. I don't know if this is true. Why do so many people use copy abilities in Kirby? I just finished my Forgotten Lands playthrough, and I decided to check out what others thought of it. I was surprised to see so many people using the easy mode copy ability system without a second thought. Is it a community thing? Don't they care about Hal's vision? Another game I played this year was Elden Ring. Very quickly, the Elden Ring community acknowledged that many of the game's mechanics existed only to make the game easier, and a true playthrough involved using none of them. That meant no spirit summons, no faith or magic, and no ranged, because the game is harder without those things, and that's obviously what Miyazaki wanted you to ignore them. They exist solely to test your resolve and as a discussion starter online. Ask any FromSoft fan and they'll agree. Kirby is similar. The game gives you ability after ability in the same way Elden Ring keeps giving you spirit summons you didn't ask for. Kirby can't normally attack without them, but you can always suck and spit the smaller enemies, and bosses pop out stars. It's clear that Hal gave Kirby all those funny little hats and powers too, like the legend Miyazaki himself, test their players' honor. Do Kirby fans just not care? What makes the From community and the Hal community so different? It seems fake as hell. This is that. I feel like in my heart, this has to be fake. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it has to be fake. It is not fake. It is not fake in the... Here's the thing. It is not fake in the sense that that is how FromSoft players act about Souls games. Right? It is not fake in that regard. That individual post is fake. But that is absolutely how FromSoft, like how Soulsborne fans play Dark Souls. Where the fuck is Bisharp? Where do you go? 369. So like near the end. Oh, this guy's out of place is the problem. All right, well. That guy's out of place is the problem. They're like Smash players. I don't know enough about Smash to know what that means, if I'm honest. I just make the game unbalanced and unfun. I mean, I don't like that comparison because competitive games are going to have a different community than non-competitive games. Do you know what I mean? So there is a point where I recognize that like the communities and metas that spring up around competitive games are just different. Do you know what I mean? But having said that, yes, it's the same way. It's the same kind of stupid, play the game with the tools the devs give you. But in Smash, they're much more interested in balancing like, you know, abilities between characters, whereas that's not the concern in Elden Ring. I agree that like that is their point, and I'm with you on that. But I would not. For me, I feel like saying it's just like Smash players is not the most apt comparison. Do you know what I mean? Smash isn't supposed to be balanced though. I don't know. Competitively focused fighting games, you know, seems to me like you want those to be as balanced as possible. Again, I don't know anything about Smash. Right? Meta Knight may be an outlier, but it's a perfect example of that lack of balance. Yeah, I don't know anything about Smash. Like, I played the original Smash back in the day, and that's my whole experience with it. All right. I do agree with both the larger points. Fuck balance, and I wouldn't compare these two things. Yeah, I think also like there's a conversation I want to have, and I don't know if I have enough like language to have it. About like balance. Like for me, that topic is, as a person that doesn't play a lot of multiplayer games, right? I play like very explicitly only a couple multiplayer games. That idea is kind of rooted in tabletop games, right? Games that are inherently cooperative. Like it's very strange to me when people talk about a class in D&D not being balanced, because that doesn't matter. Like that's not a thing, you know? Like what does it matter if the wizard is balanced against the fighter? One, you chose that class. Two, you're working together towards a goal. And like three, like what like this is the decision that you made. If a class is performing poorly and just having them drags the party down, that's one thing. But that's the developer's intent, Sage. But see again, that argument is that argument does not exist to me, because there is a human arbiter to the game. Do you know what I mean? Like this isn't a JRPG where you are fighting a super hard boss, you know, that or like you're not playing an MMO. You know, you are playing a game that inherently has a human arbiter that is, one, hopefully your friend, right? And is interested in a fun story and everyone having a fun time more than, hello? The game's catching up, I guess. There we go. DMs can be mean. As I said, hopefully the DM is your friend. Wow, time's just oh, it finally caught up to that. Finally caught up to that concept, huh? All right, well, that's cool. But yeah, it's a thing that's always bothered me talking about, you know, TTRPGs explicitly. And then comes up sometimes in video games, but usually in in single player games as well. It's a very interesting conversation. Is this the best Pokemon for this? It has extreme speed, which is normal. It has Dragon Dance. Does it actually have any dragon moves? It's dark, so a fighting type would work. Yep, Hurricane. It has Hurricane and Aerial Ace. So not what I want. Yeah, it just has a lot of still very damaging moves. Oh. Wait a minute. Hang on. If a DM is working against the adventuring party, then what the fuck? I mean, here's the thing I will say to that, right? Some people like that type of game, right? Some people like that type of game. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that is the wrong type of game. What I will say is if you want to play that type of game, that is a discussion you need to have with the party. That is a thing that needs to be known by everyone involved going into it. Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, some people like having games where it is kind of not cutthroat, but it is, you know, hard, where, you know, the game is essentially playing chess. You know, they lean more into the war game aspect of D&D, where it is, you know, playing fantasy chess against the DM. And that's fine. Like I said, I don't think that's a I don't think that is a bad thing. What is a bad thing is if no one has a conversation about that, and that's just like, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? That's the problem. If I was a DM, I would totally fudge numbers, tell the story I want to tell over caring about the party dying. A friend of mine did a really great TikTok about that and why that's super bad. And I agree. I think fudging dice is bad. I think fudging dice is a crutch when you should play a system that is more narrative focused than D&D, which is a combat simulator. Like he did a wonderful TikTok about why you shouldn't fudge dice. I stitched his TikTok and said D&D is a combat simulator. You are playing D&D because you are interested in playing a combat simulator. If you are interested in the narrative focus of the game, play a different game. I think fudging dice is good and great. Well, here, let me clarify, right? Let me clarify, because what he talked about and what I brought up in the TikTok was, if you are fine with fudging dice, then you are fine with everyone fudging dice, right? As always stated, but fudging dice is fine if everyone's on board with it, right? If again, you have a conversation at the top of the game, at the top of the campaign, and you're like, hey, I know D&D can get a little toothy. Is everyone fine if I put my thumb on the scales every so often to keep the game moving forward? And it's like, yeah, that's fine. If everyone's fine with that, have a great time with it. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's cool. Cool. Good. Everybody's great. If the game master is cheating in your favor, is it really cheating? Yes. If that's not the game that you want to play, yes. I'll fudge dice. I'll fudge dice with the table. Also fudge dice in more narrative games. I don't think there's much of a cause to fudge dice in narrative games, you know? And like, again, there's nothing wrong with being like, hey, this is going to deal like 187 damage and by D&D rules would like obliterate you into 100 pieces. Do you want to just be down? Like, we could just, you just put your guy down. Are you cool with that? Are you good? And it's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, okay, cool. You know? But like, you know, like he said in the TikTok, and I agree. And definitely, you know, go check out the TikTok that I did, go check out the original TikTok. All that stuff. There are a lot of fun things that can come out of letting the dice fall where they may and going with it. There's a lot of fun that can go with allowing things to occur and telling emergent stories. And if you are fudging the dice to explicitly tell the story you want to tell, then you are cheating yourself out of experiencing some of those interesting stories. You know? I actually hate dice. I had a text RP where a character physically picked up a set of dice, rolled them, apparently rolled bad enough to get struck by lightning and died. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. And we just read that whole thing about Elden Ring. I think there's a cause to fudge dice in more narrative games, absolutely. Whether we're talking D&D or another game, the narrative is more important than the dice. The rules will be thrown out to the side for the sake of being a fan of the players. Sure, but yeah, I'm with you, but I also think, like, you rolled those dice for a reason, right? You rolled those dice for a reason. If you did not want the outcome of that, whatever it was, to be random, you should not have rolled those dice, and you should have decided what the outcome was. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're like, well, he's going to walk up the stairs and I'm going to roll a D100 to see if he walks up the stairs. And if I roll 100, then he slips and dies. I rolled 100, he slips and dies. Do you know what I'm saying? I see the dice as a tool. Sometimes you throw the tools aside. I ain't saying fudge and throw out every roll, but the dice is the mechanism. That's it. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you did not want the outcome of that to be random, don't utilize the tool of dice. You know? I think I subscribe to the Austin Walker School of Thought more, and that means throwing out the roll. I can't think of a lot of times where Austin has thrown out the outcome of a roll completely. Helix, hello, good morning, friend. Happy New Year. I hope you're doing great. It circles the globe in just 16 hours. That's one of the wildest things I think I've read in the Pokedex. I'm up 5 shiny mons in the last hour. That's ridiculous. Yeah, at the very least. I was like, the disagreement comes from me not using D&D as my central reference point at all. I think playing D&D as much as I did, I actually don't need to keep this one. It's more expensive to change the Terra type than to level it. I definitely think some of the focus, it's also important to note that, like, this is a kind of D&D centered argument. Because I think in narrative focused games, like, you roll a lot of stuff. And it, you know, again, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. In those instances, right, where the example you brought up, right, where Austin has thrown out the roll, he didn't roll a die and then throw it out and then decide what was going to happen, right? The players rolled, they discussed what was happening, and they decided, nah, that's not really the outcome that we want for whatever reason. Maybe this is what happens instead, right? I don't think that is fudging the dice. I think that is having a discussion with your players and not being a shitbag, and, you know, being open to conversation and being open to telling an interesting story more than being locked into the decision of the dice, right? he didn't decide arbitrarily that that's what was happening. El Gunish Sheev, that's a weird that's a weird name. During a tabletop game, the entire party due to stairs due to bad rolls. Yep. I mean, I've seen that. It is weird. They definitely redone Hold Seeds because of how they've turned out and not like them due to dice rolls and stuff. I think there's a lot more discussion that happens off screen of how things go. Yeah, I mean, I can think of a handful of times that they've like done a whole scene and then come back and been like, hey, we actually didn't like how that went. We didn't like how like when we sat with it, we didn't like it. So we're gonna change it. We're gonna do this. I think the main, he has at times a whole roll. You can hear him thinking it through. Says, no, actually, I don't like this. We're gonna do this instead. He makes that call himself out loud. Yeah, it is, I think, the main idea, and I think I mentioned this more explicitly in the TikTok, is the problem is deciding on your own as the person running the game that you are going to do it. Do you know what I mean? And having a discussion with your picket. Oh, I can't because I'm in the thing. One of the party members was explicitly very careful around stairs because her backstory was she was isekai'd after falling down them once. No, it's not supposed to be serious. That's good because it's not. But the main idea was like, don't talk to your players, right? Talk to your players, have a conversation with them. What's good against steel? Electric? What is he? He was dragon? That's not good. Oh, ironically, just fucking use Tinkatongue again. I'll say this in a conversation about D&D. I'll get this argument. I still fudge DM roll myself and I'll tell the players once every blue moon. I do get the argument in the context of DM's D&D culture problem. I'd have an issue. Yeah. It's a thing it's a thing I talk about a lot, and it's a conversation it is a point I bring up a lot, right? Where I say you should read other games, even if all you do is play D&D, because a lot of other games, especially narrative focused games, are very interested in the conversation between players. Or between players, which includes the player running the game, right? And I think putting that focus on it, right, and putting that thought in your head and thinking of it that way is great. You know, for DM I trust, I wouldn't mind. I think a lot of D&D tables don't have that kind of trust between DMs and the players. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Like, for me, there's a point where I would be frustrated that, because here's the thing, right? You have to take this idea of fudging rolls, and I think people always assume that it's a positive fudge, right? People always assume that it's like, oh, you don't hit the, or like, oh, the monster was gonna crit you for like 8,700 damage, and instead he just like hit you for, like 50. So you just took like a big hit instead of getting killed. Whereas I immediately think of all the stories you hear of people who are like, you know, they have like a monk and they're like, I want to climb the building. I want to see what's going on. I want to do this thing. I want to do this thing. Right. And they want to do a thing that the DM doesn't want them to do. Or it's like, oh, they're walking down the market road and it's like, oh, you get a sense that someone's following you. And the monk is like, oh, I immediately want to climb up the building to try to look. And the DM's like, well, fuck, there's like rogues on the building with bows, you know, to like trap them so that they go to the castle so that the villain has a big monologue, right? And then so the DM like fudges the roll or comes up with some bullshit reason why it can't happen because the story that they're telling is more important than the story that the players are interested in forming. And like, that's a problem, you know? Like, I think it's a very big D&D culture issue, where they view, and it's negative for both sides, right? Because I think DMs view it this way and players view it this way, that the DM is the person who is in charge of the story, right? Like solely. Like it is the GM's, it is the DM's responsibility to tell the story, and they are the arbiter of such. Where like if you play anything else, you very quickly come to understand or learn that the story is collaboratively told between a bunch of people. And like that was such a huge breakthrough for me when I moved from playing basically just D&D and Pathfinder to playing other stuff. And I was just like, oh, like I get, you know, like it was like a door opened. It's a very D&D thing that I wouldn't be encountering because I don't play D&D and haven't in years. Yeah. And it is a conversation that I enjoy having on TikTok because there is a lot. It is very difficult to talk about RPGs on TikTok and not have people assume that you're talking about D&D, regardless of what you're talking about. I've had friends make TikToks where they are explicitly not talking about D&D, where they are explicitly talking about another game. And someone will come in talking about D&D, and it's like, that's not the conversation we're having. So oh my gosh, this Corviknight. But it's why, like, I've seen a number of people this year talk about I've seen a number of people talk about like hey, like, and like I said, like even if all you want to do is play D&D, you should read other games, because they will introduce you to new ways of thinking. They will introduce new concepts to you. Even if it's something just as simple as, like, there was a TikTok a while ago that a friend of mine stitched, and hi, welcome to the part of the stream where I just tell you about TikTok. There was a TikTok going around a while ago where someone was like, do you do character building separately, or do you do character building, you know, like, do you do character building with your characters? How much of the world do you tell them about when they build their characters? And I was just sitting there, I was like, how do you not tell them about the world that they inhabit before they make characters, or like while they're making characters? Like, how is that not inherently a collaborative process? You know, like between not only like you, the player, but your other players and the person running the game. If anybody wants to not play D&D, oh yeah, okay. Thank you for reminding me about Quest. Jalen. I was trying to think the other day of, I was like, what is an RPG that I could make a TikTok about that's like if you're someone who's played D&D, here is a RPG that is very similar to Do, that has the same vibe, but is not D&D, and that's exactly what I was trying to think of. That was exactly what I was trying to think of. That was exactly it. You owe Jalen producer credits for that TikTok? Yeah, right at the end, I'll put a producer credit. Now comes the party where they go to the mine or go off the rails looking elsewhere. Either way, they're finding a mine-shaped dungeon with a chicken at the end. See, that's also bad. That's railroading. That's also bad. Everybody hates railroading. Everybody hates railroading. Okay. I'm going to go take my morning break. It's a little late, but Josie's still got to go out. I got to refill my water, have a snack, all that good stuff. So I'll be back in just a little bit. I'm going to keep grinding through these raids. I might go make a sandwich, and try to do a hunt, because it's more fun than just poking raids forever. So yeah, I'll think about that, and I'll be back in a little bit.